Hi, this is Amy Fong from the Everest Group. I'm back with Banushi to talk more about our category strategy templates. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the market trends slide. Banushi, any comments on this?
I think market trends are really important for a category manager to know of, to understand the industry and market that he is outsourcing to, or just the suppliers where they're coming from. But how do you think it can help category managers in general?
Yeah, so I think you're right. Understanding the external market is so important to be able to have constructive conversations about where the value levers are, where the opportunities are in a category. And I often talk to category managers who feel like they need to sort through, hundreds of pages of research to get to the trends. We certainly have hundreds of pages of research if they want to read those, and some people do, and that's great. That's why we put it out there. It's high value. But for those who really need a quick cheat sheet or crib notes to have a conversation with stakeholders, we try to roll up the market trends into one slide. And let me share and just show what this slide looks like. This is just one example here for HR outsourcing, multifunction HR services specifically, or multi-process HR services, I should say. So this is an example of the trends that we show. And the market intelligence, this is a market intelligence slide. So you'll see that our templates have both buyer inputs as well as market intelligence that we populate. There's 5 or 6 trends on each template, each strategy. And they range from different types of topics. This one particularly, we're looking at things like the growth of the market over time, the growth rate, which continents or which regions are showing unique changes. In this case, there's some industry differences where we see certain industries adopting multi-process HR outsourcing earlier, and other trends, like for instance, in this case, buyers are signing deals that are shorter duration. So changes in deal trends are particularly interesting because that impacts how you might want to go into the contracting and negotiation process. The other interesting thing about these, or really useful thing, I think, is we look at, when you look down at this corner, we have links to the longer reports. So this particular slide comes from the State of the Market report that Everest Group publishes. Those reports are published every year or two across different categories. And if you do want to dig into the deeper data and information and insights in the background, you can always click that and it'll take you over to our portal where the report can be downloaded, and you can actually clip excerpts from the report as well. So there's a lot of different ways to use this information that I think are really useful to category managers. There's just, knowing the top 5 or 6 things going on in a category is really valuable. And I like that we're able to kind of distill those insights into a really useful PowerPoint template.
Agreed. And just a little point about the state of the market reports that we have. So they cover a lot of trends like Amy talked about, but they also cover the overall theme that is going on in the year. Last year, a lot of market reports were about the pandemic and how the outsourcing industry has changed post-pandemic in that particular function. But we're basically giving you an overall gist of what is happening, as well as doing a deeper dive into the industry growth, the market growth, as well as the trends in contracting and pricing, etc. So a really overall view of what is happening.
Yeah. That's a great point. I actually really like reading those market trends reports because they kind of take all of the data and put it into context of what's happening in the outside environment and what people need to be thinking about. So it's really useful information.
Right.
All right. Thanks a lot, Banushi.
Thank you.